Okay. Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. I'm gonna be making a review, at least a bit of a surface level review for this one, since I'm not quite sold on the green New Year's units quite yet. I have a pretty decent green team entirely, so I'm not entirely sold on these. I do think they're pretty decent together, at least from the looks of things. Well, at least in like as simple as they're green, they're units that will coincide with other units pretty decent at least. Well, yeah, let me see, because I think we're gonna get like the release of some of the later ones. But yeah, that's to come in like I think at least a couple weeks. I'm not sure. That's what I figure anyway. But yeah, I'll see. I guess I'm gonna check Zeta first. I wasn't quite sure how to go through about this. It was more of a I just don't see myself needing it. So I'm not, because put it like this. I was gonna summon on the Shadowfest. Whatchamacallit, I was gonna summon the Shadowfest of the of Rose, right? I didn't end up summoning simply because I just decided a lot later, because it's just I realized my yellow team just did not have any proper DPS, and I was gonna summon on the day that it ended. So make sure to like double check your schedules a bit better. So I messed up on that, and I was gonna do a video on this, but I didn't end up summoning for that. But, anyway, I digress. So let's max this out. I'm not quite sure looking at the stats as much as just the skill bonuses. So bonus attack, this is simple, normal, standard. The assertive wave raises speed, crit rate, and damage inflicted of all Therian troop allies. So this is special ability. This is just generous, so 30% speed, 30% crit rate, that's not bad. And, oh my god, that's... I mean, they're good, holy cow. Pretty good. Hint technique, I think this is our ultimate, right? Inflict 2,000 damage on a single target, recover 6 XP of all Therian trap allies except self. I don't know why every single one of these has to be except self. I'm gonna be like honest. I think this is like except self is kind of disincluding, so you doesn't boost itself like too fast, I guess. It just kind of slows things down a bit, because there's like every other one tends to just boost others, so it doesn't really matter too much. I mean, this is not bad actually, to be honest. Actually, really decent. The problem I have is like I just don't particularly have a Therian trip thing for the green. Because I think most of my team, right, is not quite there. If I had a Delta, right, I would definitely recommend this. If you have Delta from the years from last year, or from the beginning of last year, I guess 2 years ago now, kind of, yeah. Beginning of 2022 when she was released, or when she was released. I believe it would pair up well with her. And if you had Alpha, it would also pair up well. I think the problem I have with this is that she is a not a DPS. So if you want to boost up your, this is Therian Trap allies, right? So if you have a Therian Trap team, that would work. But it doesn't quite match if you have like a mono green team. That's what I'm kind of like thinking. You may not necessarily have to like care about a mono green team for this, but there's really only so much like shouldn't, especially since Shadowfest are a thing, right? So this is pretty good. This is the just her ultimate basically. Lowers crit defense by how much? 150%. Lowers crit defense by, that's kind of crazy actually. So you do like crit a lot more. Oh. I don't know if this is okay. So let me initial 20%. This is assuming it has the other thing. So let's assume this is normal. Versus attack of enemy propels by 30% for 20 things, versus speed by 30% for 20 seconds. Maxed out. Hold on. Because this assumes like your special ability is really high. I'm gonna assume this is normal stuff. So it doesn't allies 30%, 30% crit rate. What changes? Further raises damage by 30%. So if you have her awakened, you get an extra 30%. So it's good. 30%, so it's not quite as good as going to have her awaken. When you get the awaken for that one. Special ability also raises permanent. Okay, so add 2. It's not bad. It's just very unlikely though. She's really good though. We'll tell you that much because you can get her magic gear slot on the first one, which is great. No, I think people like prefer other things. That's actually really like decent. Yeah, hidden technique. So actually, let me double check because if her stuff is like not even up, it still does it. Okay, so we have her maxed out at 10. It doesn't increase by that. Oh. So you just get a 300%, 300 base. I mean, it's not bad, I guess. So this remains the same throughout the entire thing. Fix crit lower. What was if it's not awakened? So it still lowers defense by 100% of. Says 100% of defense or 100% of crit defense. So it lowers it by 100%. So it's 100% lower crit defense. That's actually kind of crazy. So, at least from other games, crit defense is just the damage calculations that has to go through. So even if you do crit, if you have 100% crit defense, you're gonna take like no crits from it. No like extra crit damage from it. You're just gonna take, I guess, the base. It's kind of nutty. Let's see. Because like I said, I myself, it's not good for me to summon on this. Maybe perhaps for later. The problem is I just don't have any proper green units that are offensive, and there's really not future ones that I can see. She is not. She's a tank. They're all tanks. The other one I can like kind of see working is the tank Delta, but it's like she's not. I don't have her right now, so it wouldn't make sense for me to get her, and I'm not quite sure for like Shadowfest quite yet. Whatever, like because if it was like, so she's counted as a Theron trip, right? I would have her with her. Yeah, that would be my assumption because they're newer units. I haven't seen them before. It's just you just run into the problem. There's no like proper like synchronicity with them. I think the best one right now is probably Epsilon, because she I think she has mega. She says she's mega boosting, right? That's her whole gimmick, right? So she doesn't expect herself to do damage. So it's no rendezvous. Zeta. Summon details. It tells it right here, right? Yeah, mega boost to Theron tropes, which is fine. It's fine, but it's not quite good if he doesn't do it. I think she does it for herself as well, but it's not quite as like at least cool. Like, Yes, it's just not, doesn't look good. This is not quite as cool, like, what do I mean, what's the word, it doesn't pair up well. It just generally just not do that. So she's at least a good unit. I'll say it like this: she's a good unit if you want to have her for like future content. Like if they released a green Therianthrope or another team of green Therianthropes, or if you have like a full Therianthrope teams and just kind of like want to build off her because she just does well. And I guess it'd be for events like the Black Rose event, because apparently that one, because I think I read up on it. You're at least towards the end, every unit was effective against it, right? So if you have her with the Shadowfest from the, I guess let's see, so it would be Shadowfest from, because I think there's only two Shadowfests that are, at least that I'm kind of aware of, that are Therianthropes, because the other ones are just, so Gamma is an elf, Epsilon is an elf, Alpha is an elf, Beta is an elf. Yeah, Beta right here, Alpha, so that's 2. Epsilon, Epsilon Gamma elf, that's 4. Eta is also an elf. The two that aren't an elf and that are Therianthropes is Zeta and Delta. And those are like, I don't even know, like I don't think I remember like the typing on it. I'm gonna have to read research for that later, but actually I'm gonna do it right now. Hold on a second. Yeah, no, I couldn't find much of anything. I kept researching and I kept researching. It's really hard to actually find some of that information. If it has to be sitting down for like a couple for a minute to like watch some of the stuff, or I just don't find anything out. Yeah, that's kind of the main issue I've had with that stuff, because it at least doesn't make you feel like you're left out properly. But yeah, no. Actually, let me try something else. Let me try something real quick, actually. Yeah, I wasn't able to find any information, at least currently, without any like extra stuff and things. So yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'll say this. I'm pretty sure Delta, the Shadowfest Delta, is blue. So either way, it's kind of like, not necessarily counterintuitive, but it is much less functional compared to if you had just like a full green team. Because I had this from like, I knew this from the beginning, from day one. It was like pretty painful to run anything without their proper like mono team kind of thing. And that still seems to be the case, at least for now. Until they maybe do decide to release null teams on like the elemental variety things. But yeah, personally, I'm not gonna summon on it. If you like the character design, go for it. I'm not gonna stop you. I myself actually summoned on the Delta banner before. I did not actually get anything because I just wasn't playing the game as actively as I am now, nor was it actually as easy as it was at least now. So I'm playing on PC now. Do with it what you will. She's a great unit, at least on paper. If you have her like at least towards maxed out twice, she's really, really good. Because I think you get that extra, was it that extra 30% damage on it? So if you have her, let's see, so I think it's this one, it's a special ability, right? You get an extra 30% damage, so if you're looking for like a passive ability, yeah, she's really good with it. That's just a straight up 60% increase to damage, and further raises damage inflicted by 30%. I don't think that's on her actually. Further raises damage inflicted by 30%. I don't know if this is for everybody. I think this might be just Therianthropes again. It's kind of hard to tell with like the wording on it. and without actual practice is kind of really difficult. Because if you sell for Arthurian trips, it's fine. If it's just for herself, yeah, it's a bit of a misnomer. I guess it just balances itself out. Because I think the accept self buff is kind of like where it just kind of falls through. The crit rate I think is kind of crazy. The 30% speed is kind of crazy. I've heard some fun things. Speed is the way to go if you want to like hit again faster and faster and faster. It is very good. But for me, Zeta is not quite there. Honestly, if you are like paying for characters, I think at least this one at the moment is probably your best bet if you are a paid player, because you're guaranteed an SS character within a pool. It's 6,000, right? So it's like what, like $100, $200 or something like that, I think. I just for USD. It's a bit more than that, actually. It's about $100, actually. Maybe towards, like, a little bit above, if you do this one and this one, I still wouldn't cut it. If you go with the best deal, right? If you go with this one, you probably get, like, a little bit on that. I just haven't done any, so it's just kind of what it has. It's not bad. I myself would probably recommend summoning if you are having like a paid thing. Summon on this one unless you're like a really heavy whale and you already have everything. I guess just for what I said. Just move on. But at the end of the day, at least for this one, if you like her, go for it. She's not a bad unit necessarily, at least not on paper. I'm not quite sold on her. If it was just my favorite unit, because it's not a bad looking character, I myself am not gonna summon her. But I mean, if you like her, go for it. Let's see. She's not a bad unit by any means. It's more of a festival thing, or like a New Year's Eve kind of thing. Not bad. Now for Epsilon, she's also a tank, so she kind of. You see, the problem I have with some of these units currently is that they boost characters, and this one's actually kind of like better because she boosts Shadow Garden characters, which is a whole bigger encompassing of things. Because she's green, and Mega boosts all Shadow Garden characters. I think she was good, like on paper at least, from those moments I saw her. Because let me see. So if we go by even just like a surface level of what I have currently, right? Let's see. So that's one, that's two, that's three. I wish I could use her with her because she's not seriously great. And put it like this: if you do get heck, if you somehow manage to get her fat, like really, if you summon on her, actually for sure I would recommend summoning on her. I think if you had because Alpha is Delta. Delta used to be it. Was Delta a tank? I don't know if Delta was a tank or not. I would assume she was a DPS, to be honest. Because it's kind of like a weird thing, right? So if she mega boosts character, the only one you want or care for is the other ones, right? So I would for sure recommend this one because she has more broadness in the sense of you can use it for Shadowfest. She'll boost everybody else. So I guess it only matters for 3 characters in essence. But it's kind of like it's a balancing game. She is really good for everything, at least on paper. So there's 2 mega boosters, I guess. And let's see. I'm not a fan of Epsilon myself. It's just cute and the thing, but it's not my cup of tea. Let's see. Purple. Shields damage. Oh, she's a shielder. Further raises attack by 20% on allies versus attack for 15%. If Shadow Garden recovers HP by 100% of attack. Okay, so that's pretty good. So she's a shielder on all allies. So she's the second coming of my favorite tank so far. The Festival Beatrix. She is absolutely glorious. At least that's the only one I have that has worked as intended. I was gonna get the Shadowfest. What's her face? Rose, right? She didn't quite work how I expected her to. She has like the effect of her and Beatrix, of Beatrix and Iris, but it's like both of like them combined or whatever. But she only works for yellows, and it doesn't actually do what I thought it does, and at least not from my experience. It only boosts herself and increases her own shield, which is fine if you don't have a tank character for shield. But it's really weird for her to have like a support kind of type thing, but not actually just be a proper support, or like at least a tank. It's really weird because I'd have her paired up with I would have had her pair up with the original Rose and her, and it would have been fine. But it's really strange for her. At least for her, she's looking good now, cause this has me more sold than anything. This is really decent actually. The problem I have is I don't need a tank. I don't need another tank. I actually just had gotten. What actually makes me a little mad, I'm gonna be 100% real. I had upgraded, okay, let's see. I had just upgraded Delta, and then I got him. I got NPC Techniques Kagano, from a pull. I was gonna use her. She kept getting, like, really, like, damaged, though. So I was like, you know what, I'll switch to him. And then I got her. And I managed to max her out to, like, rank 8 in, like, a matter of, like, a couple of minutes, which I was, like, kind of mad at. But, I mean, I'm just gonna take it. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm just gonna take it. I'm gonna be upset at this. Because I managed to upgrade from there to that. Now, it's a little more simple with this one, but I mean, it's there for free. If I had to, like, go through the effort of getting her again, getting all the gear, I would have just ignored it. But I got her, and I mean, there goes another tank. And I may or may not use. I mean, they're for future uses or the such. But it's really strange getting more characters that you don't quite need, at least in the early stages of the game. Versus evasion for allies. Like, don't get me wrong, she's probably a better tank overall. But whether I need her or not is a different question. She's probably the best green tank I've seen so far. Because she does the similar, at least on paper, she does the similar thing to Beatrix. So if you do need a good green tank, I think she's really good, at least from just that skill alone. I haven't even looked at her, like, her kit yet, just from this hidden technique alone. Actually, wait, this is hidden technique. Hold on. Oh no. This is ultimate now. Oh no. Oh, I didn't read that properly. Oh no, hold on. Because I mean, if she gets her passive really fast, that's just fine. But I actually need to check that now. It's just because if it's her hidden technique, that's her special. NPC technique. Pull punch. Yeah, if it was like for passive ability. Oh god, no. She just has, is that her passive ability? No. No. Actually, no, that's crazy. Wait, what? Inflicts knockback on a single enemy with highest damage. And do your glyph plus Race's own defense further shields 400% skills for 50 seconds. I think... I think it's actually not even her special ability. I think it might just be her weapon. I'm totally lost. Races on damage by 40%. Yeah, no, she's crazy actually. Reduces own damage by 30% and shields 100% of skills she attacks for 60 seconds. Get parted with your... Oh yeah, no, that's just her sword. That is just her sword, man. What? I mean, it's a one-time use, but it's like, it's in the beginning of the party, right? So it's... Oh, that is actually crazy. I did not know that. That sword is kind of crazy, actually. Man, that is actually funny. I guess I'm like picking that. It's just like you can't fight like first turn buffs on that. My God. Okay. I think I went a little bit longer. No, I guess if it's a hidden technique and she just kind of buffs up really fast, it's not bad actually. Yeah, because it's not bad. You can't compete with a sword, I guess. What is? I may have to look at her other stuff later. Yeah, I'll have to look at with her sword because at least in paper, some of these characters just don't look that great. I guess without the weapon. So yeah, I may have to do like a weapon breakdown later, because this is long enough already. But I thought it was gonna be like her passive at least, but the fact that it's just the weapon abilities, at least for Beatrix, is crazy. Yeah, she buffs her allies attacks. So if you want to attack anything before this, you use this first, and then you attack. I mean, either way, you get a lift through this, right? Raises its own defense by 40% for 10 seconds. Further recovers HP by 100% of attack. Inflicts provoke on enemies. Oh, that's actually great, actually. Provoke, I would assume, is like everybody starts attacking only her. Because some of the annoying fights I've had to deal with, essentially keep killing your back units. So she's actually like a taunt unit as well. That's actually, I really like her actually. I might. Okay. Inflicts on an enemy with highest attack for 3 seconds. Further inflicts 30% damage. Shields damage with 30% of skills used to attacks on all shorter ground allies. Okay, no, she okay. Further inflicts 30%. Shields 30% of skills used to attack and on all shorter ground allies for 15 seconds. I don't know what this means, but it might be a shield actually. Shield damage. 30% of your skills used to attacks and all shadow guard characters. So she thinks she does have a default shield. It's not as good as Beatrix's, but it's a shield. At least without the sword. You know? Each time damage is received recovers own HP by 1000% of attack up to 3 times. And shields damage 200% of skill user up to 3 times for 15 seconds. Huh. Well, that's a mouthful. I'm not gonna hold it. Each time damage is received, recovers 1 HP by 1000% of attack, up to 3 times. I think this is cooldown. 3 seconds. And shield damage is 200% of user attacks, up to 3 times for 15 seconds. Huh. No, she's actually insanely as a tank. Man, she's actually so good. On paper, she's unironically one of the best tanks I've seen. Because I think she does similar to the things that her Beatrix's sword does, but at least it's a fifth of it. But she does it continuously, once in a while, once every 3 seconds. So every 15 seconds she does it. A maximum of 3 times, and she recovers health every 15 seconds or so. So she is a self-healing tank that does it passively. That is crazy, actually. That's not even with their weapons. So, yeah, no, I like Epsilon's kit a lot. I like her kit. It's pretty good. I say this, it's pretty good. Better overall as a kit, and not as limited compared to Zeta's. If you want to summon her, you have my blessing on this one for sure. I mean, you have my blessing on the other one as well. But yeah, no, she's really deep. She's really good. If they release the other Delta, you kind of have to pair up with the current banners at that point. I mean, they kind of go together, hand in hand. But she has more freedom than Zeta does. Because when you have the other Delta, it's just not gonna make like a great team. She's really, I like her kit. Well, I mean, whether I summon her is like a different matter. She's just a really good kit though. Jesus. I'm surprised. I wasn't expecting her to be that good. And you have double chance of getting her, so that's a good unit. We'll see if I summon her. I have more of the gems at the moment. I'll have to look after, but yeah, that's kind of how I look at it. Let me know if there's any comments you'd like to like talk about. If there's anything I missed out, let me know. And if there's anything you want to add to it or anything you want to say, go for it. Just in the comments. Feel free to have a conversation. I can also be wrong as well, so feel free to tell me if I am. Best thing at least is if you want to summon her, I'm not gonna stop you. It is your account. Go for it. At the end of the day, this is realistically a gacha game, and you are supposed to enjoy yourself at least. And if you're gonna pay money, do what you want to do. It is up to you. I might summon her. She's really good. She's a better tank than what I currently have, for sure. I'll be releasing the a weapon overseen in a few. I have probably enough to like buy out the weapons, but I'm gonna need a minute. Yeah. She's good. She's good. She's good. Better than I think personally Zeta, at least on paper. Whether they function really well or how they like handle, because they could like be really difficult to handle even at half a speed. If you're missing green characters, I would recommend Epsilon myself. If you are not missing any characters, or if you have them, if you're planning towards the future for a Therian ship green team, Zeta's good for a Therian ship team, and she's not necessarily bad if you have other characters. It's just she's gonna be limited potentially because of that. I haven't looked at her weapons, so that might also help her boost her even higher. Yeah, that's just kind of it. That's all. Hope y'all have a wonderful day. And Happy New Year, again. I had to mention it before. I was missing out yesterday because I felt a little bit sicker. But, yeah. I hope y'all stay well and stay solid. Bye-bye.